It is a time when Ireland is split into 5 countries. The northernmost country is known as Ulster, home to a princess named Decine. She disappears into the land of the young, a supernatural realm of everlasting youth, and has a child with the Irish sun god, Log. She names this demigod child Setanta before sending him to Ulster under King Conor, declaring him to one day become the Shield of Ulster, as fate would have it. His life follows that destiny. One day, King Conor is invited to the house of the famed swordsmith, Chulainn. The king plans to bring the boy Setanta with him, but Setanta is in the middle of a hurling match with his friends. If he backs out early, he'll lose the match, so he says to the king, "I'll catch up after I win, so go right ahead." The king, humored by this reply, allows him to come late and goes to the house of Chulainn first. A tragedy begins when one of the servants of Chulainn thoughtlessly closes the gate. Setanta arrives late and is attacked by the guard dog. In an adrenalized defense, he strangles it to death. The people inside hear the commotion and gather at the gate, shocked and admired by how Setanta managed to defeat the dog. Chulainn is sad to lose his dog, so Setanta asks, "Does this dog have children? If he does, would you allow me to take care of them? I will raise them to be guard dogs just as strong as their father. Until then, I will be your guard dog." Chulainn is impressed by the boy's offer and responds to him with assurance, "I have no need of that. I will be the one to raise the dogs that will protect my manor. You, on the other hand, must train yourself. After all, one day you will be the guard dog of all Ulster." All the warriors at the scene nod in agreement. From then on, the boy is called the Hound of Chulainn, Chulainn. He has a geis placed on him, preventing him from eating dogs. Still a young boy, he is prophesied by a druid, Chabad, to be a warrior of many deeds in exchange for a short life. That same day, he decides to go through the rites of warriorhood to become a warrior of the Red Branch Knights, far ahead of schedule. The king is upset by this, insisting Chulainn grow up properly first. In response, he throws a fit, smashing spears and wrecking a chariot in order to prove himself. As a member of the Red Branch Knights, he finds no pride, no grace, no chivalry, only free-spirited warriors who act as they please, so long as they remain loyal. At the age of 16, Chulainn falls in love with a princess, Ever, and attempts to kidnap her. She refuses him, complaining that she does not want to court with a fameless kid. Acknowledging this, he promises her that he will return to her again after becoming famous. He seeks out a warrior woman, Scáthach, in the Land of Shadows, in hopes of becoming her apprentice. She is a dangerous woman filled with a lust for war. Presiding in the Land of Shadows, a place close to the world of spirits, Scáthach has already cast aside her humanity, serving more or less as a guard to ward off the dead. In that role, she is strong enough to even handle demigods. Chulainn trains under her, alongside other pupils. One of them, Ferdiad, hails from the neighboring country of Connacht. As equals, they compete to claim possession of the demonic spear, Gay Bolg, and pass a vow of brotherhood. Ferdiad becomes special to Chulainn, like an older brother. Under Scáthach's guidance, he stays in the Land of Shadows for a long time, learning the secrets of leaping and earning the Gay Bolg. In time, Aoife, another warrior woman from a neighboring country, starts a war against Ulster, but Scáthach does not let Chulainn join the battle alone. The three of them cause hell on the battlefield, and Chulainn captures Aoife in a duel. After the duel, he begins to fall for her, and they love each other for a time, until having to part ways. He asks Aoife, should she be pregnant with his child, to name the boy Conla and send him to Ulster while having him follow 3 vows: to not answer his name when asked, to not change course, and to not back down from a fight. Chulainn and Ferdiad leave the Land of Shadows at the same time after learning all that Scáthach has to teach. Upon returning to Ulster, Chulainn starts up dramatic battles and becomes known throughout Ireland in an instant. He comes back to Ever, as promised, even defeating her father, King Forgal, and his troops. This marks the beginning of many dark battles to come. Chulainn's uncle and pride of the Red Branch Knights, Fergus, defects to the neighboring country of Connacht after Ulster's king kills his sons to impress young women. Fergus serves under Queen Medb of Connacht, provoking her to invade Ulster. Surprisingly, Ulster is a kingdom with a great weakness, a curse that renders its people weak and feeble when being invaded. Chulainn, however, was not technically born in Ulster, but rather from a fairy mound. Thus, he is able to defend the country, killing off Medb's forces day after day, until agreeing to settle things with one-on-one fights. He duels at the fords in the Ulster Gorge, at Alf Mgabala, an arena formed from branches where honorable battles could be held. As part of the agreement, Medb's forces are only allowed to advance during the duels themselves. But she breaks the deal by sending in a small unit even further. In his duels, Chulainn faces off against fine warriors, goddesses, and even a monster from the clan Calatin. Fatigue takes its toll on him, putting him in danger. The children in Ulster, who haven't yet experienced real combat, attempt to save him, but get slaughtered by Medb's forces instead. Tragedy abound, Chulainn finds himself facing Ferdiad in his next duel, a scheme Medb had set up against their will. The two are left with no choice but to toss aside their friendship in favor of honor and loyalty. They fight as equals, forcing Chulainn to use Gay Bolg for the first time out of training to pierce his friend's heart. Ferdiad dies in his arms. In the end, Connacht is defeated and its queen captured. Not fond of killing women, Chulainn returns her to her country without shame. Things settle down in Ulster until a strange kid appears on the coast, defeating any warriors that approach him. The king declares that only Chulainn can defeat the boy. Ever begs Chulainn not to go, but he cannot ignore a royal order. He faces the boy on the coast, even being forced to use Gay Bolg. The boy mutters, "She didn't teach me that," before dying. He had been a student of Scáthach's, a boy named Connla. Chulainn had killed his own son. This ends Chulainn's golden years. Queen Medb, yearning for vengeance, lays many traps and uses many plots to ultimately corner him. He single-handedly faces off against her army, but is brutally wounded in the process, pierced by his own spear. Refusing to die lying down, he ties himself to a post and dies standing. His life is short, but filled with countless deeds of valor that allow his legend to be recorded into the throne of heroes. The runestone earrings he wore remain until being gathered by the Mages Association. Later, in preparation for the Fifth Holy Grail War, Chulainn is summoned, with his earrings as a catalyst, into the modern era by Bazet Fraga McRemitz, an Irish representative of the Mages Association. He has no regrets about his past, now humbly seeking a chance to engage in a valiant fight to the death. Thus, he is pleased by his new partnership with Bazet. Tragically, however, Kire Kotomine deceivingly befriends Bazet before betraying her and severing her left arm to steal her command seals. Kotomine uses some of the command seals to force obedience from Chulainn and enter the war. Chulainn is forced to be Kotomine's servant, despite hating his cowardly tactics. As such, he is ordered to merely observe other masters and servants. Further in the war, he is ordered to cooperate with Shiro Emiya and Rin Tosaka, when they are both without servants of their own. During this time, he takes a liking to Rin and desires to continue helping her. When she's kidnapped by Archer, he comes to the rescue. In the attic of the Einsburn castle, he discovers that Rin's capture is part of Kotomine's plan, and he is ordered to kill her. Chulainn refuses. For this disobedience, Kotomine uses another command seal, ordering Chulainn to give himself a mortal wound. Despite piercing himself with the Gay Bolg, Chulainn manages to stay alive long enough to kill his master, save Rin, and avenge Bazet. His time in the Fifth Grail War ends as he sets fire to the castle and dies. Of course, there are many other tales to tell, paths to follow, all of which tragically, or perhaps comically, end in his death. Those are, for now, stories for another time. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please consider supporting us on Patreon so that the channel can become independent and even more prolific. There are a variety of reward tiers, including early access, video creation advice, and patron-requested videos. Also, subscribe to Otaku Daikun for more anime lists, reviews, discussions, lore videos, and Let's Plays. Until next time, celebrate your fandom.